Okay, this is a little bit more complicated problem, but again, we're solving radical equations. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we isolate the radical. So since I've got this negative 1 over here, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I've got the square root of 2x plus 5 equals x plus 1. And then we'll just square both sides to remove the radical. When I do that, I've got 2x plus 5 equals, and if I square this out, x squared plus 2x plus 1. So now I've got a quadratic equation. So I'll subtract 2x and add and subtract 5, 2x, and subtract 5 from both sides. And on the left I have 0. And on the right, well, this is nice because I end up with x squared minus 4. And what we could do is we could just add 4 to both sides, or we could factor this either way. If we add 4 to both sides, well, normally we could just factor it, x minus 2 times x plus 2, and that equals 0. So we know we have two possibilities, either x equals 2 or x equals negative 2. So those are my two possibilities. Now I got to check it. So when we check it, we put it back in. So the first one, check 1. The square root of 2 times 2 plus 5 minus 1, does that equal 2? So we put the x in here. Does that equal 2? And that's going to be the square root of 4 plus 5 minus 1, does that equal 2? And 4 plus 5 is 9, so that's the square root of 9, which is minus 1. Does that equal 2? And what's the square root of 9? 3. So does 3 minus 1 equal 2? Yes. So that checks. Now let's do the other one. Same thing, 2 plus 5. And now we're going to put negative 2 in here. Let me get you down here. There we go. Okay? Does that equal negative 2? Well, that's going to be the square root of, and then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, plus 5 minus 1, does that equal negative 2? And this is going to be 1, so the square root of 1 minus 1, does that equal negative 2? And what's 1? What's the square root of 1? That's just 1. Does 1 minus 1 equal negative 2? No. So it doesn't check. So we only have one solution. So our solution is just x equals 2. See, the negative 2 doesn't check out, so we would cross that out. Hope you guys can see that. So you need to check the answers, because what we did when we squared them is we did introduce an extraneous root. So our only solution is one possibility, x equals 2. Okay? So take a look at that one. That's an important one because you always have to check your solutions. Okay? Hope that helps.